everyone, I'm Zef and this is my first video of how to improve as a Spellstone player. I'm French and my English isn't very good, so I'm really sorry in advance. Today I will talk about how to build a good offensive deck. My video targets all the players, free to play or pay to win, it doesn't matter. In this first video I will talk about basic stuff, so if you are in a top 5 guild, you probably already know these tips. There is 4 main categories of cards in an offensive deck: tower cards, body cards, end of the line cards, and tech cards. The first type is the tower cards type. These cards are the most important cards in the game, at least in offense, because it's the first card you usually drop. They have a big effect in activation, so you need to throw them in the battlefield as soon as possible. But the downside is they are fragile, so that's why they are called tower cards, because you put them under a tower, so the card is safe, it's protected by the tower. I will give 3 examples of this card. So my first example is Vulcanos. He got a huge effect when he activates. He do damage, he just throw damage. But he's not as fragile as other tower cards, so he's really versatile and he's still playable as a body card. Body cards are played second, third, fourth drop, so really it's a really good card. My second example will be Explosioner. In Goblin BGE is insane at what he does, probably the best at what he does, and what he do is to deal damage. Clearly, he's one of the best damage dealer in the game at the moment, but he's really super fragile, so can be played as a second or third drop. It's a pure tower card. My third example will be Cress, because he stripped 2 invis by himself. With Targot it's 3 invis, so that's really important in a X-Ball deck to play him as soon as possible, so you can throw your bolts on the enemy cards right after. But this is also a really versatile card, because it can also be played as a body card, second, third, fourth drop, because he is not fragile like Explosioner, which is invisibility, and he got 2 HP more, and that counts. Talking about body cards now, they are often placed second or third drop. These cards are in majority in a deck. They are very versatile, less fragile than pure tower cards, but also can be played as tower cards. My first example will be Azariel with HP Rune. So this one is a weak tower card, because you often freeze the tower. And with HP Rune it's also quite solid. My second example is Blind Luck Frog. I don't think I need to talk about it. Everyone knows the capacity of this card. And my last example is Scylla. Solid all around, benefit from being heated, and you really need it on the board fast. Now the end of the line cards, they are placed end of the line, like the name suggested. Mostly 1 delay that make the difference. With their 1 delays, they curve perfect for a good burst or an important freeze. There is 2 dominant categories of these cards. The 1 delay is bolt cards, so the 3 best cards of this type are Owl, Star Shooter or Sand Spirit. And the 1 delay freezers, the best are QQ, QQ and QQ. No, I'm joking. The best is really QQ, but after you got cards like Dotora, Frostworm, Valkyrie or even Siren. Last category is tech cards. So these cards are pretty weak, but very good situationally. These cards can win you the game if you place them correctly. For example, Honor, which is my favorite card by the way. He anti the double strike by weakening it and making it an almost dead card. Same goes for Mechanist or Hydra. Big revenge cards like Wyvern are also tech cards. He is easy to handle with X-Balls, so he's weak, but situationally it can give you big value win. The problem with this card is that if the situation doesn't happen, you can play them, so you will keep them in hand for the whole game. Situationally very good, but no versatility at all. You know how to class your cards, time to build a good deck. Many players complain about having bad starting ends, and they say that's why they lose, by luck. The problem is not the starting end, the problem is the deck building. You need at least 9 cards that can be played well under tower. Generally, the tower cards are body cards. Majority of end of the line cards and tech cards are not playable under tower, and they shouldn't be played under a tower. 9 cards that can be played under a tower mean only 4% chance to draw no cards playable under tower, also known as bad ends. If you play 8, you have 8% chance. It's the double. Okay, so I will build a classic X-Ball BGE independent Dolphin deck. First, I need at least 9 tower or body cards. I put my 3 mythics, Vulcano, Scylla and Atlas. Solaron is too weak. Then 3 Cresses, 2 Azariels with HP Rune and 1 Tiamat. If I wanted the best deck, I would play 5 Cresses and 1 Azar, but I'm Dolphin, so I don't have 5 Cresses. Okay, so that's my first 9 cards. Now I need at least 3 end of the line cards. My choice would be 2 QQ and a Star Shooter. I would play Owl, but I don't have any. Then 2 tech cards. Beware, 2 is the limit, really. Never play more than 2 tech cards. My choice will be Honor and Wyvern, because they anti-dual strikers. We are at 14 cards and the last slot is reserved to Loctor. It's not a good under tower card, but guys, it's a great body card. It's one of the best. So that's it, I have my well balanced X-Ball deck. There is multiple archetypes that can work in various meta. One of the other most popular is Blind Luck Frog Elise with QQ as the end of the line card. The archetype doesn't really use tech cards, but that's more advanced. And this archetype just anti-X-Bolt hard. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you will improve your game with me. Next time I will talk about defense deck or arena deck. Comment below if you want one more than the other. See you guys next time.